listening to the Becoming More Me podcast with me, Theresa Lear Levine. You're already enough. But if you're anything like me, you thrive when you're stretching and developing yourself, creating more of the person you feel called to be. This podcast is here to inspire and support you. Let's release the negative, reinforce the positive, and elevate our vibe together as we tap into our limitless potential to transform and grow. All right, we are back for part 3 of this series for unblocking your energy to unlock success in your business. And we have covered so much in these first 2 episodes, and I'm really excited to kind of dive in with you on this last one. But it's a new day, so let's slay, new levels, new devils, whatever you want to say. I think we all have some kind of a quote or a thing that we love to say to ourselves to get ourselves pumped up. For me, pretty much anything from Hamilton will do the trick. I have by my office door, right in my feng shui success direction, a quote hanging that says, "I am inimitable, I am an original." In fact, I look straight at it as I am sitting here taping this podcast, and I love that. For me, that one lights me up, and I think it could for anybody, because nobody can do anything that we do the way that we do. And that alone makes it so exciting to bring what we have to offer to the world, because we have so much originality and so much amazingness to offer. So definitely want to get started on today. Don't forget that there is a downloadable worksheet to go along with each of these 3 episodes. They're all different. They all have something else to offer you. So definitely dig into that, because that's going to help you to work along with this and really begin the process of unblocking yourself, because that's something that is really individual for each of us. The blockages, the energetic blockages that we have are going to be different for each and every person. And unless they are addressed in the specific ways that each individual needs them addressed, there's not a whole lot of shifting that you can do. So you've really got to dig into what is standing in your way specifically. And then the techniques that I teach and all of the things that you are learning will really be able to help you make shifts and strides like you have not been able to make before in your business, I promise. So we've already kind of gone over a bunch of things in the first 2 episodes. Just to kind of recap, we went over how I personally came to know, love, and practice EFT, otherwise known as the emotional freedom technique or tapping. And we talked about how typical personal development has fallen short for us, and also how I love the fact that the practice of EFT can actually come back around. You can revisit books you've read, seminars or workshops that you can rewatch, whatever it is that you have tried to learn from before that maybe you couldn't get to click or work. When you combine that with EFT work, you can get it to work for you in a new and different way. And that is so exciting to me, because as a personal development junkie, finding ways to make things that I have invested in that maybe I was feeling shame or guilt for not using, things that I still wanted to use. I mean, sometimes, we go through phases, we go through learning and training that we realize, hey, this doesn't serve us, so who cares? But other times we think, gosh, I really wish I could get that to work, and it just isn't clicking with me. And that is where you go back and you apply it along with emotional freedom technique and other complementary methods that I teach. And wow, you can make some breakthroughs. So we talked about that. We also ended the last episode with a quiz about your own level of emotional freedom. So if you haven't listened to that one, go back and do that, because that is going to really help you assess, hey, these are some areas where I could really use help, and also allow you to pat yourself on the back for all the places where things are going well. We are never a case of being all, areas that need attention. There's always places where it's like, wow, I can really be proud of myself that this is an area that is so well done in my life. And we all have them. And we all have areas that can use work too. And there's no shame in that either. I think that, growth is one of those things that, just like change, it's something that can always be happening and always be going on in our lives. Now, change is inevitable and it's going to happen one way or another. Growth is a choice. But for people who choose to grow, like you and me, we can be doing that every day. Just the same way that change is happening, we grow and we adapt along with it. And EFT is an awesome modality for helping to ease change, for helping to create growth, and for helping to integrate it all without any kind of trauma to our system or our environment. So just keep that in mind as we work through this. So today, I want to help you understand what emotional freedom is, obviously, and why having more of it matters when it comes to your success, your happiness, and whatever other desired outcomes that you might have with your business or your life in general, because we know it all weaves together. And, your business affects your personal life affects your business. Everything kind of has a way of overlapping and bleeding into the other parts of your life, even when we try to keep things separate. So, what we're going to get into here, it's a little bit sciencey, and it starts with a big statement, meaning that it encompasses a lot. The statement is everything is energy. And just let that soak in because it's a very true statement. But it's also really hard to comprehend when you think of things, literally everything. So, with that in mind, energy begins with our thoughts, and then it expands through our emotions, and then it gets amplified with whatever action that we take. And energy precedes matter. Also, another big wrap your head around it kind of statement. But that means that our thoughts create things, and that's super cool. I mean, really, it's also a suggestion that you need to start thinking way bigger than you have been, because you won't be given the ability to visualize something that you are unable to make happen. So don't ever block your breakthroughs by saying something like, oh, I just can't see that happening. Can't see that happening for me. See it, visualize it, feel it, and then follow it through to the end if you really want it, because it's already there for you. You just have to see it through. Now, we have to fight our instincts to stick with what's familiar because it feels safe. Because yes, when we go for big goals in our businesses or try new things, that goes hand in hand with potential humiliation, failure, awkwardness, and rejection. But you don't have to linger in those vibration, guys. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to cause trauma, and it doesn't have to create unnecessary stress or anxiety. You can really learn how to effectively address those things and transcend them. And, think about the word transcend also, because it means you're in a trance, and it's to end the trance. And transcending things is really important. So let's take a look at our feelings, okay? Emotions are energy in motion. And when we have a blocked or a negative emotion, as you'll often hear me talk about when I'm talking about doing EFT, it can be any feeling of dis-ease, disease, that's where your issues really begin and hold you back. So we all have them. And stress, and there's all different kinds of stress, okay? But we all have stress. It is the big common negative emotion that we share in one form or another. And then we have hormones that are associated with stress. So cortisol is a biggie that you've probably heard of. And we also have hormones like oxytocin, which you've perhaps heard of as well, that are associated with good feelings like love and happiness. And when stress hormones are up, feel-good hormones are inherently down. Now, the opposite's also true. You can get those feel-good hormones up. The stress hormones have no choice but to retreat, and then we're less stressed. So understand this. Stress equals resistance. So when we lower stress, we can think and behave more logically. Now, when you use tools and coping mechanisms to reduce that resistance, you can make more breakthroughs. That's basically the whole premise of EFT. We lower your stress, and then you're able to get further along with whatever the challenge is or was. And this is huge because EFT has been shown to reduce stress hormones by up to 43% in less than 10 minutes. I mean, is that not crazy? Think about what it would be like to be able to reduce or remove your resistance to doing all the things you know you want or need to do, and to be able to design and achieve what you want in your life. I mean, ultimately, we all want success and results, right? And so often we know exactly what we need to do to get those results. We know the sales calls we need to make, the follow-ups we need to do, the content we need to create, the meetings that we need to have with people, the phone calls we need to make, whatever it is that actually moves the dial and gets things to happen, we know what we need to do, but we become psychologically reversed to doing it. And when we do, our energy literally flows in the wrong direction. And it creates a reaction, kind of like if you put the batteries in backwards in something, it just doesn't work, right? And so even though we know what we need to do, And we know that if we do those things, that we're going to get a great result. But psychological reversal lands us in a position where we find ourselves struggling to do the things we know we need to do in order to create the business that we desire. So, what is it that keeps us separate from that ultimate success and constantly feeling like we're swimming upstream? Deep down, most of us know that it's us. We get in our own way. But the problem is that we don't know what it looks like to get out of our own way. So then we just we trip over ourselves. Any negative feelings and emotions we experience, whether it's physical or emotional pain, sadness, anger, anxiety, whatever, are caused by a disruption in one or more of our meridians. Okay, so what are meridians, right? Your meridians are an energetic system. Okay, so think of like the way that like your veins run through your body or nerves or things. These run through your entire body. And it's the same system that acupuncturists and massage therapists use to access the things that are physically ailing you. And so they get blocked at their end points usually when you have a negative feeling that gets associated. Now, let me give you an example because I know that still sounds really abstract and a little bit hard to comprehend, especially without a visual when you're listening to a podcast. And that's also part of the reason why I'm creating these worksheets to go along with things. So definitely get a copy so you can see a little bit more about what we're talking about. But for an example of kind of a blockage and a resolution, let's say that you got attacked by a dog when you were young. And so you feel anxious, you feel afraid every time that you see a dog, no matter how friendly, even though it has been, let's say, like 30 years since this dog attack happened. Now, any stimulus, in this case, a dog, that reminds you of what blocked you is going to recreate the disruption in the present time and is going to lead to the negative feeling again, which is why you get that same feeling of fear or fight or flight every time you're ending up seeing a dog. It's not happening to you now. The current dog doesn't want to hurt you. It's not attacking you. It's not doing anything, but your energy system is experiencing that same feeling again that you had 30 years ago. And this is because your energy system is timeless. It has no idea that happened so long ago and that it's not happening to you right at this very moment. So you end up reacting like it is. Now, this instinctual system of ours was designed with good intentions, okay? It was designed to keep us safe when we were, running from tigers and prehistoric creatures and all sorts of other things, and we really did have to worry about the whole fight or flight thing a lot more. Today, it's pretty outdated, and a lot of times it's very irrational for what we're actually dealing with. So the combination of tapping the meridian endpoints, well, like we do with EFT, while holding the negative thought in your mind, it neutralizes the disruption in the meridian endpoints, and it literally releases the blockage and it dissipates the negative feeling. In this case, the fear of dogs. So that person that used to have that fear may now be able to feel more present and rational. Maybe they could even pet a dog or just not feel really worried and anxious or a lot of, tension when they're around dogs. Now, that may seem little, but the ability to resolve and eliminate fears, just think of the things that you're afraid of and just think of what it would be like to not be afraid of them. To be able to resolve and eliminate fears and phobias of any magnitude, guys, that can move mountains for people. And the same principle applies to our fear of success, imposter syndrome, fear of inviting people to join us in our business or use the products that we love or whatever it might be, fear of rejection, self-doubt, so many things. Those are all energetic blockages. And having the ability to clear them is a game changer. Okay? So think of times you veer away from business building activities or that you get a weird feeling in your stomach as you get ready to really dive into the things you know you need to be doing. And what if you could work through that? What if you could center yourself in your power and your purpose and get better results than ever? It would be huge, wouldn't it? Like you may have never thought about your issues as energetic blockages. I know I was, more than 40 years old before I put that all together. But your energy is related to all of the areas where you're hung up right now. See, because up in our brain, we have rational thinking brain parts, like our frontal lobe, and then we have this almond-sized, super emotional component known as the amygdala. And without any kind of emotional training, emotional freedom training, we don't have any kind of switch that allows us to decide which part of the brain we're going to use at any given time. It would be really awesome if we did, but with EFT, that's the closest thing we have. It gives us the tools to be able to calm down our brain, our emotional brain especially, and be able to access what we need to be rational and perform really well. Okay. That's why, I mean, EFT is used for sports performance and business performance so very often because people break through their plateaus and their personal bests and all sorts of things when they push using EFT. Now, when you use it properly, you can actually flip out of the emotional brain and into the logical, which, like I said, that's not something that anybody ever teaches us. I don't know why. It seems like it should be something everybody knows. Like, can you even imagine? But, tapping sends these calming messages to our nervous system. So that not only helps with our emotions, but it can slow down our heart rate. It can help us be more conscious and self-aware so that we can implement coping mechanisms more easily. And it allows us to release negative emotions before they escalate and you go cuckoo and do things that you wish you hadn't. So it also can really help to avoid regretful situations. And that also means you can do more. You can get deeper into the things that you may currently be avoiding or not going all in on, which is so important because if you don't, that stuff will show up somewhere else, okay? Maybe not in your business, but our negative emotions are like playing whack-a-mole. If you just push it down and you avoid it over here, it's going to move and it's going to pop up over there. It's not going to go away. It's just going to move because blockages are a part of you. They're not part of your business or your network marketing company or your affiliation or whatever else. It's part of you. So even if you were to walk away from your business, or your business opportunity, those feelings are still there. And if they go unacknowledged and unresolved, someone or something else will bring it to the surface. So either way, you're required to do the work, not just learn about or understand the work, but really do it if you don't want it to keep popping up like that pesky whack-a-mole over and over again. And this particular area is where EFT has come to my rescue time and time again. And I can't even express fully how well it can work sometimes when you think of things that you're like, man, there's no way it's going to possibly change this. And then maybe one round later, maybe a few weeks of rounds later, things are totally changing. And if you're taking notes and being conscious and aware, you are noticing some amazing shifts in your life, things that you didn't think were possible. And the coolest thing is that you're tapping on yourself and you're figuring it out. And you're like your own therapist when you understand how to use this technique. And I know it can really seem overwhelming, and I'm sharing so much with you in these 3 episodes. So I really don't want to overwhelm you. In fact, that's why I broke it down, and that's why I've kind of shared things the way that I have, because like I think I shared in the beginning episode, when we tap together or we tap really generally, we often don't get the results that each person needs, which is why this whole series is about me helping you to understand what tapping is, why EFT is important, why having emotional freedom can completely change your business, your results, and your outcomes. Because then it doesn't seem like a crazy foreign concept to you when you think about learning it for yourself and really employing and implementing it into your life and your business. And honestly, you can't comprehend the value that EFT can have in your life by just doing one single round. It's kind of like how, try using a product for a day. You might need to use it for a month in order to really start seeing results. But if you discount it after just one try, then you miss out on the whole potential of what could be if you just stuck with it. So laying that foundation was really important to me because I know that if somebody had laid that foundation for me when I first heard of EFT many years ago, it would have clicked with me a lot sooner. And I would have been able to open my eyes to my own life and be able to say, wow, this could be amazing to help me with my divorce. This could be amazing to help me raise my children. This could be amazing for my children. This could be amazing for the money blocks, the mindset blocks, the past experiences that I know are tainting the way that I am moving forward. This could be amazing for my relationship with my parents, with my family, with everyone, honestly. This could be amazing for my health and fitness and being able to do more physically. This could be amazing for busting my cravings and getting out of different habits that I don't want to do anymore, but feel powerless to. This could be awesome for elevating my self-love. This could be great for helping with those chronic migraines, the neck pain, the back pain, the chronic fatigue, the emotions of being a new mom. I could go on and on to the ways that it could have, the ways that it has, and the way that it still continues to help me on a day-to-day basis. And most of those things that I just rattled off were not even direct business things. But I tell you what, like I said, every area of our life affects the other areas. So you could be rocking your business, but your personal life could still be holding you back. And you could be doing better if you worked on that too. So I see areas and potential for growth in all areas. And EFT really is a try it on everything technique that can really help you to get through some major blocks. And then, being able to do it with others that understand it can also help you to get through blind spots that you don't want to see, because we love to protect ourselves. We don't want to put our neck out there and risk getting hurt or getting traumatized or what have you. But when we can come together with other people that can see those blind spots for us and with us, like an EFT practitioner like myself, or a community like I have with Becoming More Me with EFT, then people can help shine the light in those dark corners so that you can really, break out. I'll tell you, my one of my students, her name's Hannah, had this to say about working with me. She said, "The things I used to obsess, waste time, and worry about are no longer even on my radar. I have so much more joy, levity, productivity, and purpose in my days, and it shows up everywhere. People can sense the change in me, and I feel great." And then another client of mine, Shannon, said, "What I have learned from you continues to heal and help me every day. And that gift gets passed on to my team and everyone I touch in my business. It's so powerful, and you should be recognized for that. You teach people how to continually level up and love themselves, and I am so grateful." That's just a couple of things from, the hundreds of women that I have worked with on their businesses and improving things through EFT. I actually created an entire course dedicated to this, and it's called Conscious Coaching. And it's going to give you a whole basis for understanding how to do EFT, for being able to facilitate whatever kind of rounds you need for the problems that you're having. It's going to give you one-on-one personalized support and community. And then there is an entire conscious coaching course that addresses each of the common issues that people have that are entrepreneurs and network marketers and things. So we're talking, fear of success, fear of failure, abundance and money mindset stuff, sales. We're talking about different limiting beliefs and things like that, and all sorts of other things that came up in the course of, it was a 6-week live course and program that I created with other people that were entrepreneurs and network marketers. So a lot of personal stuff came up. And then as new people go through the course, we get to address their issues as well. So it's really cool. It's a constantly growing and building community and program, and it has a lot to offer. So if you are thinking that EFT could really help you level up in your business, I definitely encourage you to check it out. And you can find more information on that on my website, or even in the worksheets that you can download for these podcasts. But it really is going to help you to be able to tap on your real life situations and blockages, and to work through and transcend heavy emotions, and to be able to increase your levels of calm and clarity and focus and productivity, all the good stuff that we want more of, and to be able to remove the more painful things that we want less of. It's going to help you to reduce your energy and money sucking habits. and to just create more overall success while you stop procrastinating. And also to really be able to stop using techniques like a band-aid and instead being able to really feel, deal, and heal, as I like to say, because that really does directly translate to success and happiness in your business. And I think that's so important. So just know that there is greater, more detailed and more personalized ways that we can work on this together. If through this series of 3 episodes, you're thinking, wow, this really does apply to me. And it really does seem like a way that I could level up and make more out of what I'm doing and break through the things that I know have either been consciously or subconsciously holding me back. Everybody has some of both. So I just want to thank you for tuning in to these 3 special episodes on unblocking your energy to unlock success in your business. And I hope they've provided new perspective, education, and insights for you that you can really apply as you move forward as a leader in your industry. Thanks again for listening. Thanks so much for listening. If you loved this episode, please share it with a friend or post on social media and tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, keep taking bold and brave action steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. Keep shining your light.